live. We are
Coming
live.
up in this video, developing mediumship abilities, fun intuition exercises.
3 tips on becoming a natural psychic.
Can you become psychic in 3 seconds?
I don't know.
That's the question of the day. So if you're new, consider subscribing.
Subscribe to.
Click that bell and you'll be good to go.
Oh, for those of you guys that do not know us yet, I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From ZenMostGarden.
Yes. Helping people create
badass lives.
When we started our own journey, we noticed a huge gap in what was being taught by a lot of cookie cutter gurus.
Right. Some people taught all the cool intuitive techniques without the foundation of self-growth. Problem. And then other people taught self-growth without knowing what to do when people naturally started opening up their intuitive skills.
So both groups have a ceiling that lacks integration.
Today's topic is a question from one of our viewers. It's from Joanne from the Gold Coast, Australia.
What's up, Joanne?
We love our Aussies. I found you guys through Crystal Fuentes, the ladies coach 2 years ago, from your show about deep-rooted emotions. And I've done a lot of the work you guys taught about around self-awareness. As my grandmother passed away last month, and now I have started noticing weird things happen around me that I can't explain other than psychic stuff. I didn't believe I had any abilities before now, but I am starting to wonder, and that makes me wonder if it is possible to communicate with my grandmother. Can you help me understand what to do with this? So just what we're talking about.
Absolutely. If that sounds familiar to you, if you've ever had any kind of an experience like that, then you're in the right place.
Raise your hand in the comments if you've been at a similar crossroads. And this is just what we were talking about, you know, in what we do, because this is common with our clients. They work on their self-growth and their intuition starts to open, work on the intuition, and something blocks them with their self-growth. Those of you that have worked with us before know how it goes. So Joanne, when a loved one passes away, we can be really in tune with the spirit world for a time and start noticing things that we think have suddenly appeared, but that have always actually been there. I believe that this is what is happening to you.
So first, our beliefs around psychic ability, our desire for drama and excitement, along with our fears of the unknown, our prove it or see it to believe it attitudes have conditioned us to expect psychic experiences to be dramatic, mostly frightening events. These might be near-death experiences, out-of-body or OBE experiences, ghostly manifestations, trance channeling, dimensional shifts, or group visions. All of those fall into the realms of that dramatic psychic or paranormal experience that every rookie psychic is looking for. Or expecting.
Well, okay, so this is what we run into. It's like suddenly stuff starts to happen in your life. But the things David is describing are not your everyday psychic experiences. Like what you are experiencing is kind of you're getting in tune with those everyday experiences of being in tune with your world. And I think that is what you are beginning to experience. What happens when we start to begin to experience those everyday psychic experiences that kind of have always been there, that put us in touch and in tune with our world and the world beyond, is we're so conditioned by the dramatic, exciting psychic experiences that we freak out, like we've been trained to be scared of it, right?
And the other element is that those dramatic wake-up calls from spirit happen on occasion, but the biggest reason that they are so dramatic for you, at least in the beginning when they start happening, is because it's not your norm. You haven't necessarily conditioned yourself to expect these as a part of your normal experience and calm it down to an experience of, you know what, that's just the way things happen.
Well, and so the dramatic wake-up calls from spirit are the things that David was talking about before, which is like the out-of-body and the like ghost appearing, and those are dramatic psychic paranormal experiences that might hit you real fast and shock you out of your normal awareness.
Jolt you into an awakening or opening.
But I think what you are kind of experiencing, and it seems shocking because you've done a lot of self-work, is you're becoming aware of what's happening. You're becoming aware of the natural things that are happening around you. So those aren't necessarily always going to be dramatic. Those are going to be kind of more calm, and once you stop reacting to them, because I think we react to normal everyday experiences with a little bit of fear.
Right. So think about it like this. That moment as a child, when you are going through life and you are learning to ride a bike and you finally nail it. Okay. That moment when you no longer need any kind of assistance, you're just like, bam, I'm going. That's an aha moment. That's a big, huge moment for you. And then riding a bike becomes a normal thing.
So we want to give you 3 tips on how you kind of are already tuning into the spirit world and your psychic abilities, and why it should be kind of a normal part of your growth process. So
please keep putting your comments in, keep putting your experiences in, keep putting your questions in, and we will get to them. If we don't get to them on the live, we will get to them after the live in the comments.
So we've got 3 tips that are going to kind of help you stabilize, normalize, understand yourself as an intuitive, psychic, medium, all of those things that are really natural to all of us, but we have come to believe that they're separate, scary, frightening, dramatic, and belong to a special breed of people. So tip number 1,
just acknowledge your psychic senses as a skill.
So like anything else, your ability to tap into the psychic world is a skill. But the first step is just acknowledging that it is even there.
That it's even possible that you have this particular skill set. It's like walking. If you didn't know that you could walk and one day you walked, it would be an amazing thing until it became a normal thing.
So if you don't acknowledge the fact that you can do something, I guarantee you that you will never be able to do it with any amount of skill. You might even say, I can't walk, and then you just don't. You've talked yourself into I can't walk. So
only special people get to walk.
So
the subconscious needs that time to create a stronger connection to the conscious mind for consistency and accuracy. Otherwise, you're just going to keep getting surreal, misty messages that are difficult to hold on to. It's like swimming through a fog, and that's all that you know.
But once you train yourself to see through the fog, it becomes clear, it becomes easy, and those subtle feelings and messages and intuitive hits become a lot more clear. This is a skill of mastering the mind, and you can't master anything until you practice. Like any other skill, repetition and consistency are key. Now, when I was growing up, I was sort of trained, we're kind of led to believe that these kind of things just come in and you have to be grateful for when they happen because it's a message from spirit. But I knew in my mind, there has to be a way to stabilize it, practice it, and be able to toggle into it at will. And there is. So it's just like anything else, right? Tip number 2, and I think one of the most important foundations of becoming an intuitive, psychic, medium, all of those things are being an observer. So being intuitive, as far as being an observer goes, because this is your foundational skill for being intuitive in your life. So being intuitive, and this is kind of a 3-step thing. So being intuitive, psychic, or even using mediumship abilities is more like a way of life when you step into it in a natural way. It's a way of living tuned into yourself, into your environment and your ancestors. And if you think about it, this is sort of a natural way of life for a lot of primitive cultures that live close to the land. For a lot of primitive natural cultures, they don't think this is weird at all. We've been trained out of being in tune with all the energy that is,
because it's scary and it's abnormal, and it's just scary and abnormal, or until it becomes normal. So it is a way of moving with the energy around you so that you can begin to direct the flow and start to achieve what you want in life. But like any skill, you've got to learn how to navigate that skill and how to get better at that skill and how to call it in at will.
So this starts with just allowing your intuition, basic step, to flow and trusting that intuition, then increasing by increments in confidence and all of that into more tangible psychic abilities and into mediumship. It's really a scale from intuition to mediumship. So when we think about mediumship as this really difficult, weird place to be, it's really not. It's just on this scale from intuition all the way up. It's all part of the same channel. Does that make sense?
And there are 3 steps to this entire package, this whole package. You've got intuition, which is something that we use every day, whether it's when to take a left turn in a car so that we don't get smashed because somebody's coming up on the right side or the other side or whatever side. Going into psychic ability, which is the ability to kind of sense our environment around us. And then mediumship, which is the ability to communicate with spirit or the spirit realm in any way, shape, or form. So all of those three are steps to this whole package of you and your awesome superhero skills.
Superhero.
Superhero.
I don't know what that is.
Superpower, superhero.
It's
Yes.
a shortcut. So no matter
Yes,
where
super.
no matter time out for David's funny voices. Okay, no matter where you are on that scale, right? It's about creating a richer connection with life by being an observer of life as it is, a sensitive interpreter instead of a magic 8-ball, right? It doesn't always have to be dramatic, and you become this mad scientist creating a unique alchemy that is your life. And that starts with observation.
So an exercise here is begin to observe the room. Okay, there's an exercise where you can observe the room, take a look around, and see what you're seeing, witness what you're witnessing, and then
you're going to leave there. Well, here's how I like to do this exercise. And the reason I give this exercise to a lot of students is because it's not a psychic exercise, but it accesses the foundational skill you need for the intuitive and psychic arts. So you sit in the room and you observe as many objects as you possibly can for 20 minutes. Then you leave the room, wait for 10 minutes, and write down every single object that you can remember with your conscious mind. And if you practice that maybe a few minutes every day, I guess I just said 20 minutes, so half an hour, do the math, that's Heather math, right?
Yeah, but start small. It doesn't even have to be a half an hour to begin with. Start small, start with 10 minutes.
Whatever's fun for you.
Yes.
Whatever's fun for you.
Whatever's fun and achievable to give you a short, quick win so you can build on it.
And the thing about the quick wins is you want to do it consistently, like a couple times a week. And it's just about heightening your powers of observation. And what you're doing in this exercise is connecting your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, which is picking up billions of pieces of information all the time. But it's picking it up. It's just not necessarily telling it to your conscious mind. You've got to create that pathway.
And that's what this exercise does, is it strengthens the pathway between your subconscious mind and the delivery system into your conscious mind. So it's the recall element that you're practicing here. It's not the observance of the room, but the delivery and the recall of the observance that you're practicing.
This is very important because a lot of students will try to go through, let me tap into all the psychic information right now.
Right.
But there's no channel strong enough to deliver it. So you're going to get these murky, muddy messages. So this is the first exercise that we want to give you that will just really help you before you even start to do the cool, tricky, fun stuff, right?
Even though that's cool and fun and kind of tricky. Tip number 3 is learning to calm the mind and concentrate.
So calming the mind and learning to concentrate without distraction is another important foundation. There are many exercises for this.
Right.
There are thousands upon thousands of thoughts that are circling around us all the time. So you need to develop the skill of focusing gently on a point and space in time.
Time and space, or space and time.
Yeah, to allow the information to come to you.
So an example of this would be standing outside of the vending machine instead of going inside of the vending machine. So an experience would be focusing your mind on being inside of a vending machine or being outside of a vending machine, kind of shifting your focus from one to the other.
Well, I see what I mean is like if you're standing outside the vending machine and you want to get Dr. Pepper out of the vending machine, you're not going to go into the vending machine and be like, I've got to find it with all these things. You're just going to go, I want a Dr. Pepper, and allow it to come to you. It's very much the same thing when you're working on allowing information to come to you. A lot of times we like really seek really hard to find it and we block the information.
Don't be that person that reaches up into the vending machine and breaks your arm or
otherwise
gets caught.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
So here's
not that I've ever done that.
Oh, I know you
life.
have. So an exercise to increase your intuition
before you begin your day.
Before you begin your day. And this one is an intuitive exercise.
Yes.
So the first one was not necessarily psychic, but helps. So this one would be a partner to that. So sit quietly and scan your day. Imagine yourself, I like to imagine like a radar, like those old school radars in the old movies, goes beep, 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 and just allow your radar to observe psychically in whatever is good for you, feeling, seeing, sensing, smelling, and then see what plays out. See what comes into you in that scanning exercise, not a reaching out. Let me see what's going to happen. Let me see what's going to happen, but observe it. You might see a color. You might have a feeling of joy. observe it, write it down, and then see what plays out in your day.
Yep. And this is really great to do right before you wake up, before you actually get up out of bed, is just imagine in your mind. Let your mind go wild and just imagine how your day is going to play out, who you're going to meet, what you're going to do, what crazy events might happen, what crazy cool events might happen, and just imagine. Just give yourself 5 minutes maybe to just imagine your day playing out, and then write down anything significant, and then just go about your day. Don't worry about looking for it or making it happen or waiting for it to happen. Just go about your day. It doesn't matter whether or not any of these things that you come up with actually take place. You're strengthening that part of your mind like a skill.
Simple but effective.
Yep.
But now it's time for the bonus tip.
Yep. So observing synchronicities, but not seeking signs. Okay. We're learning how to observe and not get caught up in the I need it. You don't need it.
So
let it come to you.
Here is a big pitfall and pothole we see people who are learning about intuition and psychic abilities and mediumship fall into flat on their face and actually distort and mess up their information. So Carl Jung called those startling coincidences synchronicities.
Those things that kind of pop into your mind as apparently significant.
Right. So these are the little magical signs that startle us a little bit and disrupt the mundane world we're living in to let us know we're on the right track.
Right. The key to allowing these synchronicities to turn into a stronger flow of useful. And I'm not even using bunny ears. I'm using, this is freaking important. Useful psychic information is to not look for them actively. Let them happen. Let them come to you. Let it happen instead of forcing it.
Don't stick your hand up the butt of the vending machine.
Because you're going to I really did that. You're going to get it stuck.
Oh, I'm the Italian here. Okay. So to relax and observe them when they come in with a curious mind.
Yes,
And here's,
curious mind.
I'm going to explain this a little bit because here's where people fall down flat on their faces.
Yes.
Observing the synchronicities is what, Joanne, our questioner at the beginning of this live was asking about, is that these things are happening. Well, usually they start with these magical synchronicities that have really been there all along, but you're not noticing them. But we can get caught in two extremes of this.
Either the brush off of coincidence, which would be the muggle approach.
Yeah, you muggle.
It was just a coincidence.
Right.
It didn't mean anything
It's not
at
magical.
all. It's not magic.
There's
no magic.
Boring. Okay, and then there's the overly sign seeking. Raise your hand if you know these people, okay?
Or if you've ever been these people.
Okay.
I got my hand up.
I'll raise my hand. So overly sign seeking people, you can notice synchronicities and then you seek. This is that obnoxious magical person that complains that nobody understands them because they all see the magic no one else does. But in reality, they just might be seeing a lot of things that are not really there because they're trying to see all the signs. So here, that extreme person is training the brain, to make a sign out of everything by seeking it instead of observing it.
That way you're going to see signs everywhere and you can't get anywhere because you're seeing too many signs. You don't know where to go.
Right. So now you've got, we call it the dichotomy of choice. So you can live in the dead zone, or in the everything has meaning. But then if everything has meaning, you're cluttering up your brain with a lot of psychic trivia.
So either there's no magic like Muggle, or there's so much magic that there's no real life.
So you can get caught up in
like the anti-Muggle.
Yeah, the anti-Muggle. So you can get caught in the psychic trivia zone where nothing is really super useful because everything is useful. So then you kind of forget to live your life. So the important thing is to be in the middle of that and observe the synchronicities. I wonder what it means with curiosity and see how it plays out and understand that you will know how to respond in the moment instead of, I see all these signs, I need to ask a million questions, I need to seek and see what is the right action to take when this happens and the star aligns. You're going to drive yourself crazy and everybody else too.
And the happiest place to be in this experience is right in the middle. Experience the moments that you do know you can brush off and they really don't mean anything. And experience those moments that are magical. But you don't want every moment to be magical because then no moment is really significant.
And so here's the thing. You may see a synchronicity that's a little mysterious, but you're not going to know what it means until you know what it means.
Right. So Glow says, so on point. I get there when I don't sleep enough. That is a great point, because when we're not getting enough sleep, we end up more in that middle ground where we're not really fully connected to reality, but we're also not fully connected to our dream state, and we're kind of in between. So yes, we're more open, and life seems like it's throwing more signs, but we're really just going a little cuckoo because we haven't gotten enough sleep.
Sometimes when we're overly sign seeking, we have to recognize we're in a little bit of fear of what might happen, and a fear of, I got to do the right thing. You know, I hope I don't screw up. So we overly sign seek.
And Carrie says, you guys are lit. I mean, awesome energy. Awesome. Thank you.
We're not lit yet. Saturday night we will be.
Saturday is our lit night.
Saturday's lit.
We save it for one night a week.
You guys are fun. I think we're getting this great energy from you guys because there's so many people online and we're having a blast.
We just learned developing different mediumship abilities and fun intuition exercises.
So we have learned that self-growth and developing your intuition for a badass life go together, just like sushi and Sapporo.
First, you need a solid foundation with real tips.
If you're just starting, I want to invite you to come join the app where you get your basic foundation, mental development and intuitive training for beginners, where you get new self-growth tips and resources every week like this one. And it's absolutely free to join, and you can get to know us and hang out.
And you can get a solid foundation to build from. The other one would be leveling up to Zen.Ed Academy.
Zen.Ed Academy is where we teach our advanced courses that go beyond, you know, all the stuff you get here, for the professional or for just those that want to level up their intuitive skills and self-growth.
Even if your goal is not to pursue a career in the intuitive arts, intuition is still a very important part of making the right decisions for your life.
And plus you get all the past courses with your membership. So it's like the value-packed membership group that keeps growing.
Right. So if you're ready to get into our inner circle and start working with us right now, click the link in the description. If you like this video,
hit the like button.
If this video helped you in any way, share it with a friend.
If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments, because you know that we make these videos for you based on what you ask us.
And for more badass life tips, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to turn notifications on,
so you are the first to know
when we drop a new video
or go live.
And we know that time is a valuable and precious resource. And I have not forgotten those of you who did leave comments. I'm going to go back and I'm going to respond to those comments after we get off the live, because we've run out of time today. But I do value your comments, your appreciation, your joining for us, but also for you. We know that time is a precious and valuable resource. Thank you for joining us, spending that time with us, but most importantly, spending that time to level up your life. Thanks for watching. Have yourself an amazing day, and we'll see you in the next.
We will see you in the next video.
Yep.
Peace out, guys.